Hi, my name is Polina and I am from Ukraine. Coming from land with its heart of Europe, that was always a tasty morsel for neighbors. I feel deep loyalty and attachment to my homeland. I feel its value and uniqueness.
My ancestors' worldview was built on mutual respect and reciprocity. Their life credo was to survive at their home.
It sounds frustrating, but it's so true. Every single time when new invaders came to my land, my people need to unite and preserve their identity.
No one asks their permission about soils, water, people, or even taking their lives. When the leadership of the Soviet Union was trying to commit a huge genocide on my land in 1933, they did not allow people to eat what they had planned and to purchase whatever they needed, because that just did not exist in the stores from their submission. My grandmother was supposed to hide seeds in the cracks of the floor in her own home.
For me, land, it's memory. Memory of what ancestors have overcome and the traces of those who create those terrible things. I take responsibility not only to remember, but to act, to learn truth, to support indigenous communities, and to ensure that those injustices are never repeated.
Having the chance to live and to travel abroad, I have heard stories of different nations, different perspectives of the same events, and I acknowledge that indigenous people of Canada have faced truly inhumane behavior from European people. Particularly, Anishinaabe and Algonquin Nation in Ottawa has overcome completely undeserved and enormously humiliating things.
I feel how much could be done by those who fought so bravely for their life, but in the end just could not stand all this pressure that had been with them all this time.
The way they treat living things, the way they respect nature and life around, brings me to the idea of how thriving could be this land if the power were in hands of those people who have a direct connections to those places. Colonialism in Canada profoundly impacted Indigenous settlers' relationship, leading to cultural alienation and intergenerational trauma. The Royal Commission on Aboriginal Peoples grouped the history of colonialism into 4 stages. The 2 biggest impacts of Indigenous peoples' society were the stage of separate world up to 1500 AD and displacement and assimilation 1871 to 1969.
As a student in 21st century, I recognized my responsibility to support indigenous communities. I commit educating myself about indigenous culture, traditions, and histories.
Seeking out opportunities to hear directly from indigenous people about their experience and perspectives, learning about residential schools, treaty rights, and systemic discriminations.
I really hope to contribute to a future where past injustice are never repeated and indigenous people are heard, valued, and respected.